As we have the Labour Party politicians being controlled by trade union barons and their dodgy money on the left side, well, we also have some corporatist dodgy money on the right-wing side when it comes to the centre-right establishment of the Tory party. A top conservative donor has been quietly funding the CCP in Beijing, and it's just coming out now. Oh yes, on this channel, we don't really care if you're left-wing or right-wing or up, down, centre, wherever you are. We will call out hypocrisies, we will call out dodgy stuff, and we will call out any flaw that we have in the system. Do not follow any figures, follow ideas. Question everything and everyone, including yourselves. And even if you're a pro-Tory supporter, let's talk about this story. Massive credit to Guido and the boys at Guido who found this update for us. Basically, a top Tory donor, Sir Henry, has come out to be exposed that as a donor, he's actually been funding CCP propaganda in Hong Kong. And yet, at the same time, been funding the Tory party. Because, of course, self-interest. Now, this guy has been funding and producing these literature and leaflets for President Xi to kind of basically spread the propaganda in Hong Kong. A new era. Stability, prosperity, opportunity. This is so believable. Absolutely disgusting what's going on. Why on earth should we actually be okay with the fact that certain people in the West, because of big money and power and influence, are basically going out there, stir the pot in the world and fund both sides in every argument? To be fair, we also had this situation back in the 1930s and 40s where whether it was the Allies or the other side, there were people, the vested interest, who are funding both sides. That always happens, and it's disgusting. And the whole so-called world order is getting out of control. Well, it's already out of control, but anyway. But Sir Henry, Guido actually said this about him, in case you don't know, that Sir Henry has kept up with his hobby of donating to the Conservative Party, around £800,000 in the last 5 years. Guido couldn't help noticing that some of these donations are often conveniently timed around when Jardine Matheson representatives, the company, meet with government ministers. It is quite handy. So somehow, every time his big money goes into the pocket of politicians, somehow there is a meeting between them, and somehow there is influence. Well, it's not. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. It's nothing new about this. It's been going on for decades and decades. The line is crossed when you fund the Tory party and then go and fund the President Xi's CCP. That's a bit dodgy. A bit? No, full on dodgy. We have to call it out. I don't really care if you're hard left or hard right or centre left or centre right. We will call you out if you harm this country and the values of this nation. We're going to come back in half an hour. We're going to give you some interesting updates from Germany and the rest of the continent. The farmers are rising up once again, this time in Deutschland.